Hi, Rick here from Marvel Models, Games Workshop dealer from the UK. In this video I'm going to bring you the latest box sets from Games Workshop, which is the Dark Imperium box set. It's not only a new starter box set for Games Workshop, but it's also the introductions for the new 8th edition rules. I'm going to take a quick look at what's inside the box. So first things first, it's a slightly different format to the usual box set. Usual lovely artwork on the front, but rather than being a sort of slide open box set, as you'll notice, it's actually got a slip cover. But the artwork is very good, very traditional, showing you obviously the Primaris Space Marines and the Death Guard on the side there. What we want to do is slip this out, and we're greeted with the iconic Space Marine logo, which has been introducing a lot of the new 8th edition stuff. Now, first thing is we can actually lift out. We've got a box inside a box. So inside here we actually have, obviously there's a little purity seal on the box, which we'll just slit open. And then inside we actually have our plastic sprues. Okay, first we'll just focus in on the Primaris Space Marine sprues first. So you've got 4 sprues, and obviously you're split into your intercessors, your hellblasters, and of course you've got your captain and your lieutenant, etc. as well. Great thing about them, of course, is they're all brand new molds. So you've got nice 2017 badges on all your on your things, so you know that the molds are going to be really fresh and the detail is going to be really sharp, which they are. These are look like an intercessor squad here, so you've got all their various weapons, etc., swords, bolt rifles, etc. Just let you have a look at that. Sorry, just put my hand there just to give it some focus. One good thing about the banner, it's not chapter specific, so you get decals with it, so you can obviously just pop the correct decal, and you get all the chapter decals included in the set as well. Just giving you some close-up detail there, and you see what the sort of thing that you're going to be getting. There we go. This is the Hellblaster sprue. So you can see slightly different. You've obviously got their weapons, etc. I think it's just a duplicate sprue. I'll show you the other side. So that's the Primaris Space Marine sprues that come in the set, and now we'll go on to the Death Guard. Okay, on to the next set of sprues. We've got, of course, the Death Guard. These are obviously brand new models as well as the Space Marines, but overwhelming detail just due to the subject matter of the typical Death Guard. There's a lot of details go into them. Of course, fresh sprues, 2017. I'll just bring it up close again so you can see the kind of details in there. Now the Death Guard, they do get their bloat drone, so it's kind of like in the old Dark Vengeance set, the Chaos got the Hell Brute, so in the case of this one the Death Guard get the bloat drone, which looks actually really fantastic. And of course you've got things like your Poxwalkers, which have got their crazy happy faces. Some people like them, some people don't. Of course, we've got our Lord of Contagion, although I might not have that sprue in front of you right now. But all fantastic models, all fresh. And of course the box set, which comes in at an RRP of £95, is exceptional value considering you're getting 2 armies, and of course the Rulebook, which I'm about to show you. You also of course get And with the plastic models, you are of course going to get the manual. It's laid out, obviously it's a dual manual, so it's going to cover the Space Marines and the Death Guard. It's the newer type, so if you have been building some of the older Games Workshop models, you know how bad the instructions were, poorly identified, etc. These are the new ones, so you're going to get a little breakdown of, sorry, just move that about, you're going to get a breakdown of the sprues that are in the box, bases, etc. And then of course you'll get a little, if you're brand new to building models, it'll give you a wee breakdown on how the models actually work, or how the instructions work. And in here it's all this new CAD style, but the great thing about it is, as you probably noticed when I was showing you the sprues, the parts are all numbered now, so you don't end up with a bit of a mix mash of the numbers corresponding, sorry, with the parts miscorresponding, like where you've got two arms that need to be the two particular arms, so the bolt gun is held correctly. It will tell you exactly which ones to use, and it's of course gives you everything. You've obviously got the Intercessor squads, A's and B's, Space Marine Sergeant, Hellblaster squad, Inceptor squad, and of course at the back we've got the Lieutenant and the Space Marine Captain. What's also good, you do get a full set of decals, which I will grab in a sec here, but you get for all the factions. It's showing Space Marine here just now, but it also gives you the breakdown of the painting, like when you get a box set from Games Workshop. As he tries to grab one, there's just like a little Tau one there, and you can see it gives you a breakdown of the colours. So you'll get that for all the models in the set, which is really good. Again, for beginners, it's really going to help you out how to achieve it. And of course, you've got all the different factions. Dark Angels there, that's what I collect. And then of course we go into the Death Guard, and of course you've got the Poxwalkers, you've got the Plague Marines, Noxious Blightbringers, and so on and so on, and of course the Bloat Drone at the end. And again, another fantastic painting guide on the back. Now, of course, the part that really probably most people are interested in is the new rules. Now, this set is going to come with a full-size 280-page rule book, which I'll show you in a moment, but you'll also get mini, well, they call them indexes now, rather than codexes, or if this video is a bit older, codexes will come out later in the year, and you'll get one, of course, for the Space Marines. So we just flick through that and give you a bit of a look at it. Hope that light's not shining on the pages too much. So of course you get a bit of the fluff, which is also good, bit of background on obviously your different individual not characters, but squads, etc. Inceptor squad, Hellblaster squad, and then of course a breakdown of your livery and your iconography, a new word I've learned this time with 8th edition coming out. And of course it gives you the breakdown of all the different factions, which is really good. Of course you don't have to use specific factions, you can of course make up your own faction. I mean, Games Workshop have actually got a downloadable page now that you can download with basically what is that, but it's not being coloured in. And then a bit more guides for painting, and then of course all important, you'll get your data sheets as well, which is how obviously 8th edition is now played. More data sheets and more data sheets, and then finishing at the back you've got a wee appendix so you can quickly refer to it. So we have one for Space Marines, one for Death Guard. Same again, you will get your fluff all about the Death Guard, then a bit of fluff about each individual character so you can actually get behind it. The Poxwalkers, the Foated Bloat Drone, and so on. And of course we've got our, well, I suppose it is your chapters, but for Death Guard. And again, great for painting as well, because you get a good sort of three-dimensional view of them. Then of course we go into the data sheets. So we've got Lord of Contagion, Plaguecaster, Noxious Blightbringer, Plague Marines, etc. All there. Obviously something you'll go into more detail when you actually get it. Now your pack may not come with this. This was actually something I got in my launch pack, which is basically a first missions thing. I think it's just to get people started on it so that they can basically get some very simple missions together. This may come in the box set, but I'm not actually sure if it does or not. It might just be something for the stores to run, but it's basically the same sort of thing that's in there. And of course, good thing is now they come with a set of core rules, which is just a flick out cardboard version of it. And what this does is just allows you, get this in shot, just allows you to basically get going straight away. But it's also as well handy if that once you're kind of getting a grasp of the rules, you can just take this along, and it's a good reference guide for playing the game. So I'll move these out of the way, and then of course we have the huge, now this is not like normally when you get starter boxes, the Games Workshop will give you a sort of miniature version of the rulebook, which, to be honest with you, if you're going to your local club, it's actually a handy size to use. But this is full size, this is massive. I mean, this is 280 pages, hardback. Purchasing on its own, it is only £35. Traditionally, that would have been at least a £50 purchase, but this is thick. And you can obviously purchase on own, you don't have to get the starter set. And of course, it's laid out in a similar sort of thing. I'm not really going to go into detail because, to be honest with you, there are plenty videos on YouTube with people probably way more qualified than I will devote whole videos to doing things like the rulebook. But I've had a bit of a flick through it, and of course, as per normal, loads of great artwork, etc. You've got the contents table at the start, but it's, I'll be honest with you, about half of this is things like fluff, etc. So don't worry that the new rules are going to be this thick, they're not. But lots of stuff in it. Of course, it's geared up for beginners as well, and I have to say the layout of the rulebook is very much geared up with maybe new people or people returning in mind. So lots and lots of fluff. There's just the backgrounds to absolutely everything in this book. Probably should have flicked through from the other side, it'd been a bit easier for me. So obviously fluff, fluff, fluff. Oh, in fact, I'm just going to, actually coming from the other side, it's going to be easier to flick through the pages. Armies of the Imperium. Loads and loads of stuff, because you're going to get a bit of fluff as well about everything in here as well, so it'll cover all the different chapters, etc., all the different factions. You'll get basic lovely artwork, and look at that, knight, that is so sweet. And of course loads of photography work from Heavy Metal, GW's in-house painting team. Do obviously a grand job, I have to say. They are good at doing what they do. Blah blah blah. Forces of Chaos, of course, can't leave out the bad guys. Again, lots more hard thing. You do get a wee faction breakdown as well in here for each of the different factions. I think the idea is that they've put this in there so you'd be a beginner, you've purchased the box set, and then you're maybe thinking, well, I maybe actually collect another army, and you've got a little preview of each individual army just to get a kind of feel of what they're actually about, which I thought was actually quite a good idea. I mean, obviously it's padding out the rule book quite a bit, because it's, you know, it's really only half of a rule book, because half of it's rules and the rest is all fluff, etc., which, to be honest with you, I actually really like. And of course, as well, once you get past all that, you'll get obviously a bit of the storyline to bring you up to date, but it will actually go into things like, well, obviously, here we go, we're going into data sheet. So we've got core rules, so these are the rules that you actually get the mini version that I just showed you, but this is in obviously a larger format, so it goes through all that different things as well. Again, I'm sure you'll find videos on YouTube that will be much better at this. Now, it's, as you can kind of see, it is laid out in a format, as you can imagine, that beginners we want to try and get a hang of. So it's very pictorial, etc., which the experienced guys will probably find, well, to be honest, they'll probably briefly look at this, check it out, and then sort of know how to play the game. So, but remember, you've got to bring new people into the hobby, and if no one gets started, the whole thing just dies. So, so you've got, and of course, what is different with 8th edition is obviously the 3 ways to play. So you've obviously got the 3 ways to play. You've got open play, which is really for beginners and just about anything goes. Then you have a few missions that you can follow as well, just to get you going. It's all kept quite basic, obviously, because it's for the absolute beginners. You've got narrative play. That's a bit more where the you're more playing a game based on a scenario or a fluff, you know, or on the sort of history, like you could be doing some famous battles, etc. So the sides may not be matched, and you can use the power the power levels on the individual characters on their data slates, so the two armies don't necessarily have to match up together. So you've got your narrative play, and then once again you've got narrative mission rules, etc. So that's quite good because the rules change depending on the mission that you're playing. And of course it also brings in obviously unusual deployments because it's all about a story, and it now brings in stratagems as well for just mixing it up a little bit. So we've got several missions there. I'm just going to flick past all this because we're going to head over to match play, which if you are playing like at your local club or competitively, obviously that's going to be more like what you're going to be doing. So you've got proper hard and fast rules, models and weapons have points, etc. And you're obviously going to be matched up in points before you play, whether it be 1500, 2000, 2500, etc. And of course it goes on to missions, a lot more missions. Unusual deployments as well. This is all different from before, as you'll now notice, not just your straight Dawn of War, Anvil or whatever. You've actually got some new ones in there as well, which is good. And then of course you've got your mission rules as well. Scouring, secure and control the relic, etc. And of course we've got tactical objectives. Now you can get these as objective cards, sold separately of course, but you have actually got them all there as well. There's quite a lot of them. A few more missions, etc. And then of course advanced rules, just to bring things a little bit more serious there, gives you the breakdown of all the different campaigns, etc. And of course how your armies are constructed, etc. Because we obviously don't have formations anymore, although you kind of have these different detachments. So you can have things like vehicle detachment, troop detachments, etc. Which again, it gets actually quite flexible. And the more you stick to these, the more command points you get. So I'll just flick through these. And of course it even comes into battlefield terrain, which is changing slightly from 7th edition. The way that the battlefield terrain gives you cover, etc. is all different, where before you just have to have your individual in the unit would have to be 25% cover. Now it's 50% cover, but the entire unit has to be behind cover for it to work. So if you have one guy out in full view, you haven't got the cover. So that's all a bit different. They really are kind of stacking it up a wee bit. And of course there's things like, for example, the Promethean pipes, which have their own rules. If you puncture one of those, they explode, causing wounds to the troops that are behind it. Great terrain setups, I have to say. The Games Workshop guys really know how to lay out a bit of terrain, although it does look a bit busy if you're actually trying to play it. Different campaigns we have now, which is quite good, and of course we have an appendix at the back. Sorry I've gone through it all a little bit fast, but you would really have to have a video just for the rulebook. But as I say, there are other guys on YouTube that are way more qualified than I. I just wanted to really give you a bit of a sort of background on the box set itself. And last but not least, just a couple of bits I missed out. You do get actually a ruler with the set, quite a kind of simple flexi one, because we don't have blast templates anymore. Of course you get all your bases for your models, the new style flying stand, and as I said before, you get a fantastic decal sheet for the Space Marines. Now there isn't one for the Death Guard because the Death Guard don't really have any decals, but as you can see they're actually really nice, well laid out. Try and get that sheen off of there. And you've got it for everything: Ultramarines, Blood Angels, Dark Angels, Space Wolves, and so on and so on. So overall, an excellent starter box from Games Workshop for the launch of the new 8th edition. This is going to be a great starter box if you're maybe thinking, if you're maybe coming back to it and you want to freshen up your armies. Obviously, what a lot of people are going to probably do, maybe buy a couple of boxes of these, and you'll get, say, one friend collecting Death Guard, or doing the Primaris, and then they just swap the bits across. So an excellent idea if you're doing that. And just coming back to the box, again, some really nice artwork. You've got all the Death Guard on the side there, and if we flick it around, we've got all the Primaris on the other side. But no, overall a fantastic box set. Big thumbs up to Games Workshop, and of course great value. Well, I hope you enjoyed my video on the contents of the new Warhammer starter box. If you want, you could check out my video, give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and I'll bring you many more videos. Thank you very much.